Okay. Good afternoon. Before we begin our membership awards and installation presentation for the family law section of the Florida Bar, I want to remind you all to please mute yourself. I also want to inform you that this program is being recorded. And please place yourself in speaker view so that you can see what is going on. I want to thank you all for attending this luncheon. And I know that next year we'll all be together in person at the luncheon in Orlando, which will be wonderful. I'd also like to acknowledge our sponsors for their support of the family law section. And without them, we couldn't do what we do. That's Florida Appeals, FLADOM, O'Shell and Dawn, Fababil, Psychological Associates, Bob Javid CPA, Older Lundy, Alvarez and Koch. Thank you so much for your support of the family law section. I just want to thank you all for attending today, and we will be presenting awards, and we will be electing the new incoming executive council members, executive committee, and recognizing those people that passed the board certification exam. We'll now begin the presentation with the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Juliana Apicella.
Okay.
Speak loud, okay?
Dear God, thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself and for our health. I pray that you clearly show each person here today how to conduct their work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm, and grant each one of us with the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Please place your right hand on your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. When I first began my service on executive committee, I wondered how my year as chair of the family law section would unfold. Then when I was chair-elect, I began to choose my site visits. I had already picked my theme of integrity, which is defined as doing the right thing when no one is watching. And last year, when I took my oath of office as chair of the section, I asked everyone to take a deep breath and listen to their inner voice or gut. When you do that, you always know what is the correct choice. When I look back upon my year as chair of the family law section, we were able to meet the goals that we set forth and to benefit Florida's families. There are a lot of things that the family law section does which are not publicized. This year we were tasked with updating the Florida Family Law Handbook, which is given out by the clerk of courts to people seeking marriage licenses. Not only did we update it in English, but we also had the same translated into Spanish. I want to thank Jack Mooring, Sarah Kay, Sarah Sullivan, Trish Armstrong, Sheena Benjamin Wise, among others, for accomplishing this monumental task. We have many committees that work hard and tirelessly, such as the Rules and Forms Committee, led by General Magistrate Beth Luna, Kristen Kirkner. They were able, with the assistance of their entire committee, to comment on proposed rules and form changes presented to the section. This is a time-consuming process, but one that is necessary to ensure that the section is involved with form and rule changes which impact the practice of family law in Florida and for all practitioners. This year, under the leadership of Trish Armstrong and Ruben Dupé, along with the rest of the CLE committee, we were able to present many educational CLE programs which were timely and topical. We were also able to have Facebook Live events which presented current information necessary to the practice of law. This year, the Legislation Committee had an eventful year when we were presented with a bill on equal time sharing and alimony reform. The committee, led by Jack Mooring, Sheena Benjamin Wise, along with the entire legislative committee and officers, and with the help of the Alicia Roy, Phil Wartenberg, Bascom Communications, Lisa Hurley, our lobbyist, and many others, made sure that no bill passed. Our certification review course this year had been changed. We had to do it on a virtual basis, the first time ever, and we had over 1,650 people in attendance. The section continued to provide an amazing program. This couldn't have been possible without the assistance of Sarah Kay, Michelle Klinger-Smith, Kristen Kirkner, Jerry Rumpf, Mark Sessoms, Susan Stafford, and many others. Thank you so much for a great program, which I know will continue to go on. We also have so many other committees, including Health and Wellness, Diversity, Technology, Equitable Distribution Support Issues, just to name a few. They've met and continued to do great work this year, meeting on a virtual basis. Not only did we just do committee work, but we were able to have a live event. And I know that that was fun for all of us. It was our in-state retreat held May 13th to the 16th in Hutchinson Island. We were honored to have the president of the Florida Bar, Doria Foster Morales, and her husband, Jimmy Morales, in attendance. And in fact, I just was told that Doria is here today, so we welcome you and we'll let you speak in a minute. Also, I had hoped to have an out-of-state retreat in Quebec City at the Chateau Frontenac. But one of my goals was to be able to participate in a fundraiser for families in Canada, which was a Christmas tree decorating contest. And we were able, through the contribution of an anonymous donor, to still present the Christmas tree. We were the first international participant in that event. I've been asked by many people if I felt shortchanged this year due to the pandemic. And to that question, I answer a resounding no. The section has been faced with many new situations that we had not encountered before, but we met them head on and rose to the occasion. I'm thankful to my family and friends who supported me, and also my husband, Stephen, for their love and encouragement and support. And in closing, I want to say, in the end, everything will be all right in the end. And if it's not right, then it's not the end. And that came from the Marigold Hotel. Thank you so much. I now will begin the presentation of awards. I want to thank my executive committee. I'll talk about Heather when I pass the gavel to her later in the program. But the section would not have had such a successful year without the dedication of Phil Wartenberg, Sarah Kay, Amy Hamlin, and Heather Apicella. Each of them operated with integrity during our executive committee meetings and executive council meetings. I could not have asked for 4 better members to work with. Okay, and now I'm going to turn over the floor to Dory.
She will have to unmute herself if she's.
I just did. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, I just wanted to jump in just for a few minutes. This will be the last time that I come to you as the president of the Florida Bar, having obviously evolved from my roots as a family lawyer and the family law section, for which I'm, obviously forever indebted. And it is, I want to bring congratulations to Doug for a great year under difficult circumstances. I know he said that he has no regrets, and I'm with you, Doug. I have no regrets. People say that to me all the time. Difficult things are handed to people that can manage them, and that's what happened with you and with this year. And I know that your executive team, Heather, you're in great hands with obviously incoming chair Heather. You have Willie May is fantastic. You guys are really lucky to have Willie May. And I just wanted to say that, it always makes me so proud to see the family lawyers, what they're doing, how they're doing it, the impact we have on on the families of the state of Florida, almost more than any other practice area. And the way you have soldiered on to make sure that the legislative process that we've had the input that we needed there, that you did all the things, but you did them remotely. They weren't as much fun. And I just need to say thank you. The work you did by doing it well really made me look good. I know that wasn't your goal, but for that, I owe you a debt of gratitude. I'm so appreciative. And I look forward, when I go off as president, I'm the immediate past president, continuing working with the family law section. My firm is committed to the family law section. And I hope to attend other events like this great wine tasting that's coming up. As an old timer, we've had wine tastings before and they've always been the best events. So maybe it's the wine, maybe it's the people, maybe it's a little of both. But I hope you have a great meeting. I hope you have a great lunch virtually. I'm sorry, it can't be in person. And I hope that we can all be together soon. And so thank you for everything you've done. Doug, Heather, you have, my support for anything you need. And even though I'll be past president, I still know a few people in Tallahassee. So whatever I can do to help, I'm there for you. So thank you.
Thank you, Dory.
Have a great meeting. I'm going to take off because I have other events I need to attend to, but thank you so much.
So this year, as I stated, we were going to have 3 retreats. A leadership retreat at the Don Cesar. And I picked my retreat chairs based upon people who could bring a new, fresh perspective. And many of them had never chaired an event before. Oh, I see we're on the operational committees. Okay. I want to thank all the chairs of the operational committees, Trish Armstrong, Ruben Dupay, Phil Wartenberg, Sheena Benjamin Wise, Jack Mooring, Heather Apicella, Sarah Kay, Amanda Tackenberg, Joel Wiener, and Anya Citron Stern, a new member of Executive Council as of this afternoon, Sarah Sullivan, Magistrate Beth Luna, Kristen Kirkner, Shannon McLinn, and Trace Norval. You did a great job. Our substantive committees were Matt Thatcher, Shannon McLinn, Matt Thatcher also, Anthony Genova, Chelsea Miller, Phil Shapani, Yvonne Alonso, Bonnie Sockelstone, Tova Virchow, Cash Eaton, Trish Armstrong, Magistrate Bob Garan, Amy Gross, and Sonia Jean. All of you did an amazing job, and thank you so much. And Chris Rumbold, who really herded the cats and made sure that all the committees kept in touch and were able to be informed of what each was doing. We also have our ad hoc committees. Bylaws, Amy Hamlin and Michelle Klinger-Smith. I know you've worked tirelessly. Client solicitation, Lauren Alperstein, Robin Shear. Diversity and inclusion, Anastasia Garcia and Tiffany Ruggiero. Equal time sharing, Sheena Benjamin Wise. Guardian ad litem, Deb Welch and Kim Nutter. Health and wellness, John Foster. Name and gender marker changes, Kim Enright. Nomenclature, Andrea Reed. Parentage, John Foster. Probate jurisdictional, Kim Enright. And special needs of children, Phil Shapani and Laura Tesmer. Thank you all so much for your dedication. Okay, as I said a little bit, I got ahead of myself. My retreat chairs. The first retreat was going to be at the Don Cesar, and that was going to be chaired by Sarah Kay and Sarah Sullivan. They had a phenomenal program, and hopefully they will be able to get our speaker back. And thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication. Next was going to be our out-of-state retreat, which I spoke of earlier, at the Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City. And those 2 chairs were Sheena Benjamin Wise and Tanisha Hall. And as you can see, the Tree for Hope for Charity, our tree, is in the center. And thank you so much to our anonymous donor and to Tanisha and Sheena and Willie Mae for making that all possible. And finally, our in-state retreat, which was a phenomenal success. That was Amy Gross and Kim Enright. And I have to tell you, we had over 65 people in attendance, and we had so much fun. And truly, they did a phenomenal job. There was nothing left undone. They had enough, there was enough food to feed a horse. We had games, we had activities, everything was taken care of. It was amazing. They truly did more than I could have ever hoped for. Thank you guys so much. Now we're going to our legislative awards. Each person who receives a legislation award not only attended the weekly meetings, but some traveled to Tallahassee, some monitored bills, some worked on subcommittees and ad hoc committees. They were always available on a moment's notice. This committee, as I stated earlier, were chaired by Jack Mooring and Sheena Benjamin Wise. But these people who did all this extra work and were very, very active are as follows. Our PR firm headed by Sarah Bascom and her team, thank you so much. Trustee Abigail Beebe, Dr. Day, who's done a phenomenal job and has always been involved in the section, helped us immensely this year with the equal time sharing presumption. Ruben Dupay, Cash Eaton, Pam Gordon, all who monitored bills and worked on things and went to Tallahassee and spoke. Thank you again so much on a moment's notice. Amy Hickman, our lobbyist Lisa Hurley, Mark Joseph, again, all people that just, anytime I called on them or the chairs of legislation did, they were there. They were willing to contribute time, weekends, anything. Magistrate Diane Kerrigan, Michelle Klinger-Smith, and Belinda Lazaro, also just always in attendance, always present, always working hard for the legislation. I know that Michelle went up to Tallahassee many times and, in the past and did this year, and thank you again so much. And then Magistrate Luna, Trace Norville, Andrea Reed also all went and spoke before the legislature this year. Thank you so much for all you do and your dedication. Kim Enright, Alicia Roy, former chair of the section, and Chris Rumbold again. Alicia, thank you so much, and Abby as trustees for being sounding boards for me and always answering when I had a question. You guys are amazing. And then finally, Phil Shapani, who also went to Tallahassee, and Magistrate Wartenberg, who was the person I put as a designee for legislation because he had chaired legislation before. He will eventually be chair of the section, and I know that will be an amazing experience too. Thank you all so much. The Above and Beyond awards are given to members who can't say no. That's what I say about them. They assist whenever there's a special project. They're always there saying, what can I do to help? And those recipients are Jamie Epstein, a young lawyer in Broward County who did an amazing job on the CLE committee. Cash Eaton, a newly board certified attorney and longtime member and supporter of the family law section. Trace Norville, we couldn't have had meetings had it not been for Trace involved with technology and FAMSEG. Chelsea Miller, the person that edited my messages, because clearly those of you that know me know I'm not a great writer. And Sarah Sullivan, again, a true visionary and the winner of this year's Visionary Award. Thank you all so much. Next, we move on to the Spotlight Awards. The Spotlight Awards are given to those people that make a positive impact and outstanding service to the family law section. And this year, we have Holly Clark, our webmaster, the Buzz Agency, Julie Mullins, our PR firm on a regular basis. Also, Andrea Reed for all she's done with all the committees that she's involved with. And next year, she's going to continue to do a great job. I know that she's in charge of the trial ad, an amazing course. Mark Joseph, he's always at the ready to help. And he did a tremendous job in legislation assisting with us. And Pam Gordon also, a good friend from Broward County, but she just did an amazing job. Anything I asked her to do, she did. She monitored and tracked a bill. And thank you guys so much. And thank you for all you do for Florida families. Our Rising Star Awards. Those are for the newer members to the section or getting involved. And I really know that we're going to be seeing great things from each and every one of you. And they are Jason Allman, Secretary of Membership, Kristen Cardona, who was Vice Chair of Publications, Jamie Epstein, Secretary of CLE, Jenna Fortner, Again, involved in so many committees, and we appreciate it. Amber Cornwright, who edited a commentator. Jennifer Patty, who was clearly very involved in the appellate committee, and I know that she's been appointed to legislation, and Tony Powers, an amazing person who's always been involved in the section, and thank you so much for all you do. I know we're going to see your names a lot more in the future. The unsung heroes. These are people who do things behind the scenes. They may sometimes appear in the spotlight, but they do things and they don't ask for credit. And this year, I can tell you that they are Trish Armstrong, Ruben Dupay, John Foster, Magistrate Garan, Sonia Jean and Ron Kaufman, all of them I called upon this year for special tasks, and they all said, absolutely, whatever you need. There was no hesitation in their voices. And that's how this Family Law Success section succeeds. When people like that, and you call upon, just say absolutely, and don't say, what's in it for me? They say, what can I do for the section? So much appreciation for each and every one of you. Now we go to the awards of special merit. These people are recognized for their labor and commitment to the family law section. They are truly amazing people also. Everyone I've named has been an amazing person and involved with the section. And so they are this year, Dr. Deborah Day. I mean, what can I say? Dr. Day last year won the George Sestero Award. She's truly amazing. She's always there to talk to you. Anytime I've had an issue and I've needed advice on how to, deal with interpersonal communications with section members, what to do, involved with legislation, she's always there. Michelle Klinger-Smith and Amy Hamlin this year worked tirelessly on the bylaws. And so to finish them and get that monumental task done. Amanda Tackenberg, you're always there at the ready. You did a great job with membership and all of the committees that you're involved with, and I just really appreciate you. And Phil Shapani, this year you took to doing the case law, monthly case law updates in the FAMSEGs. You're always there. You've done a lot with legislation. All this while having a very busy family life, and we really recognize and appreciate you always being at the ready to help. Thank you so much. This year, I reinstated the Trailblazer Award, and that's a person who goes and does what is needed to be no matter what happens. They do it the correct thing. And this year's award goes to a person who chaired CERT review for 2 years, has been involved with trial advocacy and even chaired trial ad. She presented CLE for the section. She's a board certified attorney and been involved in legislation and bylaws. She's the person of the highest integrity and will always do the right thing rather than take the easy task. I'm proud to call her a good friend. And Amy Gross, congratulations. Executive Council Service Award. That's an award that's given for somebody who's been on executive council. Usually it's for people that are not renewing and terming off. And unfortunately this year, we have to say goodbye to one of our good friends. She's been on executive council for 13 years. This year, while co-chairing legislation, she was president of the Gwen Cherry Bar Association. She still made time for her family and friends, and thank you so much, and you will be missed, Sheena Benjamin Wise. The Alberto Romero Making a Difference Award. This year, this is an award that is given for making a difference, and it's not only given to people that do things for the family law section, but do things on other basis. This year we had 2 award winners. And it's the only award that I don't choose. It's chosen by a separate committee of people who really vet the applicants. And so this year's award winners are 2. The first one is Sarah Kay. Sarah is obviously a board certified attorney and a member of the executive committee. She has demonstrated her work to pro bono service. Since 2010, she's given over 1,300 hours of pro bono service. She's very active in the Hillsborough County Bar Association, and she's also very active in giving pro bono hours to families and children with special needs. She truly has done things outside the family law section and is a clearly deserves this award for making a difference for all that she does. Our other award winner is Karen Stevens. Karen is a partner at Ward Damon. She's been practicing law for 9 years. But before that, she was a mental health counselor, the director of the Guardian Ad Litem program in Broward County, and an elementary school guidance counselor. She's vice president of the Susan Greenberg Family Law Inns of Court of Palm Beach. Karen has contributed to the creation of over 12 pro bono CLE courses for the Center for Child Counseling. She's contributed articles to The Commentator and continues to do countless hours of pro bono work whenever asked by anyone. She's on the board of directors of the Women's Foundation of the Greater Palm Beach, and she's a graduate of the Leadership Palm Beach County. She also co-chaired the Arts for Media Day for Youth Leadership Program in Palm Beach. Thank you for all you do, not only to the family law section, but for your community, because without that, again, things would not get accomplished. You guys are truly amazing. Thank you. The George Sestero Distinguished Member Award was started by Abigail Beebe 2 years ago. And for those of you that know George, he's an amazing member and trustee of the section. He's been very, very involved. And he does a phenomenal job and always there to take phone calls and help. He truly is a consummate professional, and I just can't say enough good about George. Actually, when I got appointed to the executive council, George was outgoing chair and Tom Sasser was incoming. This year's recipient is a board certified member of executive council, board certified attorney as member of executive council. He's also been very active in the Florida Bar besides the family law section. He has served on many committees. He's co-chaired Trial Ad. This year he chaired legislation and helped prepare the handbook that I spoke of earlier. He's a great friend, a great parent, and a great lawyer. Congratulations to Jack Mooring. Next, we have the Honorable Raymond McNeil Professionalism Award. For those of you that know Judge McNeil, he exemplifies professionalism and was always willing to help the section. He was a true jurist and just an amazing person. This year's recipient has testified in Tallahassee many times on behalf of the section, and she always thinks before speaking. But in private, she'll speak her mind and tell you exactly what she thinks, always in a nice, polite, dignified way. She's also a member of the judiciary who has served on many committees. I've had the pleasure of watching her testify in Tallahassee and in her committee work, and she always has the highest composure. Congratulations, Magistrate Beth Luna. This year, I created an award because of my theme of integrity. And the recipient of this year's award is a member of the Executive Council. She's been involved with the Florida Bar and section work. She's a board certified attorney. She's chaired equitable distribution. She was head of the certification review course. And I must tell you, one night after certification review, she approached me and expressed her feelings and concerns about an issue which upset her. And I listened to her, and I listened to what she said, and I realized her comments were truly coming from a great place. And I really, when she told me what she thought I did wrong, I listened, and she was right. This person always, always comes from a position of love and caring. And this year's recipient of the Integrity Award is Bonnie Sockelstone. Thank you for always doing the right thing, even when no one's looking. One of my final awards is the Chair's Award of Extraordinary Service. This year's recipient is a good friend of mine who's been on Executive Council. They have always been willing to listen, help, and advise me. She has done an amazing job. This year, she handled a ad hoc committee on equal time sharing, co-chaired legislation, while, as I said, was head of the Gwen Cherry Bar Association. She's a great mother and a great friend. Thank you so much, Sheena Benjamin Wise. I'm now going to turn the program over to Jennifer Figueroa to present the board certified attorneys.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jen Figueroa, and as a lot of you know, I was the chair of the board cert committee for marital and family law this year, and we had what I would call an extraordinary year. The first thing I would like to do is thank my true chair, Laura Davis Smith, for all of her help. The past chairs, Ben Hodis and Doreen Inglis, for helping me almost every day. And the best committee I've ever been on in my entire life, bar none, regardless of the subject matter. The committee members, Belinda Lazara, Sam Gibran, Bonnie Sockelstone, Karen Weintraub, and our new member, Chris Bruce, and our liaison, Blair Bisbee. Congratulations to the largest number of new board certified experts in marital and family law. This year, their names are as follows: Cash Alexander Eaton, Russell J. Frank, Grant J. Gisondo, Kim Ann Hamill, Catherine Bruce Johnson, Jennifer Rachel Lawson, Stephanie Jean Libby, Christy Lou Mitchell, Barbara Ann Helms Peters, and Julia Wida.
I also want to join in thanking the board certified attorneys. Before we get to the acknowledgement of our section administrator, I could never have done this year without the advice and help of all the trustees. I know Peter's here, Tom Sasser, Roberto Katz, Abby Beebe, Alicia Roy, just to name a few. Dave Manns, always willing to help and assist. And truly, when you are chair of the family law section, Maria Gonzalez, Laura Davis Smith, because without you and your advice and counsel, none of this is ever possible. You heard Dory say that we have an amazing administrator. And I can't tell you anything other than she is truly an amazing person. Since my involvement with the family law section, we've had no less than 5 administrators. I'm well aware that the family law section is one of the largest sections of the bar, and we are demanding. And each chair of this section has different leadership styles. I know that I'm not always easy to deal with, but Willie Mae, you assisted and responded to my questions and gave me direction and kept me on course. I can say without hesitation that I am truly lucky, blessed, and grateful to have had you as the section administrator during my year. And thank you for all you do for the family law section. All right, so now we're going to our honorariums. The first honorarium I decided to split this year. We get two, we get $5,000, and this year I decided to give it to two different organizations. First one was Refuge House. They're in the north, they're Big Bend as they call themselves, in Florida. They provide direct services to domestic violence victims, sexual assault victims, the children and families, and they do education and public advocacy to eliminate violence. They are in Franklin County, Liberty County, Gadsden County, Madison County, Jefferson County, Taylor County, Leon County, and Wakulla County. They do an amazing job. And in 2019, they handled over 4,000 domestic violence calls and 645 sexual assault calls. They have emergency shelter, transitional housing, and support groups. So I decided not to do something in South Florida, but to do something in a part of the state that also we need to make sure those victims of domestic violence are taken care of. The second award, part of the honorarium, goes to cat care. And that is, being a cat lover, a no-kill shelter that fosters cats and places cats. And that organization is headed by a Broward County family law attorney. And I know that personally, one of my closest friends' sisters passed away in a car accident. And it was the Cat Crusade that came in and fostered and took care of her cats and made sure that they all found great homes. So thank you for all you do, Suzanne Williams and the Cat Crusade. This year, I decided to make a personal contribution to every member of the Executive Council. When we first met by phone in April of last year, before I assumed the position as chair, I asked you what charity meant something to you. And I told you it was so that I could know a little bit about you. It really wasn't. It was so that I could plan these donations. And so here are the organizations that I donated to on your behalf for your time and dedication to the family law section and in your honor. Thank you all so much. So now I'm going to turn the program over to former trustee and former chair of the section, Peter Gladstone.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Doug. Can you hear me okay? Great. At this time, I would like to present the slate of nominees for the Executive Committee for the 2021-2022 term. Douglas A. Greenbaum, nominated for the office of Immediate Past Chair. General Magistrate Philip Wartenberg, nominated for the office of Chair-elect. Sarah Kay, nominated for the office of Treasurer. And Christopher Rumbold, nominated for the office of Secretary. Before I take the vote, are there any nominations from the floor? Hearing none, this vote will be taken by acclamation. All family law section members, please unmute yourselves so that we may hear your vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing none opposed. Thank you. The slate has been confirmed by election. Next, I will present Heather Apicella as nominee for the chair of the family law section for the 2021-2022 term. Before I take the vote, are there any nominations from the floor? Hearing none, this vote will be taken by acclamation as well. Family law members, please continue unmuted so that we may hear your vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. The chair has been confirmed by election. And finally, the election of the new and renewed executive council members. At this time, I would like to present the slate of nominees for the executive council term commencing 2021 and ending 2025. Tricia Armstrong, Cash Eaton, Tanisha Hall, Kristen Kirkner, Matthew Lundy, William Norville, Philip Shapani, and Anya Citron Stern. Again, before I take the vote, are there any nominations from the floor? Hearing none, this vote will also be taken by acclamation. Family Law Section members, please remain unmuted so that we may hear your vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The slate has been confirmed by election. Now it is my pleasure to administer the oath and induction. I will start by swearing in the new and renewed executive council members for the term commencing 2021 through 2025. For those of you who are being sworn in, please unmute yourselves so that we can hear you. I will call each of your names and please signify by stating here so that we may know that you were on. Tricia Armstrong.
Here.
Cash Eaton.
Here.
Tanisha Hall.
Here.
Kristen Kirkner.
Here.
Matthew Lundy. Matthew? If you're here, we don't hear you and perhaps you're muted.
He's here. He's on an airplane.
William Norville,
Here.
Philip Shapani,
Here.
and Anya Stern.
Here.
Would you all please repeat after me? And raise your right hand, I imagine. I.
Aye.
State your name.
Cashy.
Anya
Yeah.
Citron Stern.
Do solemnly swear to faithfully execute
Do
solemnly swear to faithfully execute
my position as a member of the Executive Council of the Family Law Section of the Florida Bar,
My position as a Family Law Council Section member of the Florida Bar,
and to uphold the Constitution of the United States
To uphold
and to uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Florida.
and the state of Florida.
Florida.
I further agree to fully acquaint myself
I further agree to fully acquaint myself
and uphold the standing policies of the Florida Bar,
and uphold the outstanding policies of the Florida Bar,
the Florida Bar Family Law Section, and the bylaws of the Family Law Section.
the Florida Bar Family Law Section, and the bylaws of the Family Law Section.
I shall otherwise carry out to the best of my ability all responsibilities
I shall otherwise carry out
to the best of
my
my
responsibilities to the best of my abilities,
pertaining to the office and those otherwise properly assigned to me.
all responsibilities pertaining to the office.
And all other those
Is assigned to me.
assigned to me.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I will now swear in the executive committee officers, specifically the chair-elect, treasurer, secretary, and immediate past chair for the 2021-2022 term. General Magistrate Philip Wartenberg, Sarah Kay, Christopher Rumbold, and Douglas Greenbaum. Please unmute yourselves so that we may hear you. And please repeat after me. I. State your names.
Douglas Green.
Sarah Kay.
Do solemnly swear to faithfully execute my position
Do solemnly swear
To
to execute
faithfully execute
my position
my position
as a member of the Executive Committee of the Family Law Section of the Florida Bar
as a member
as a member of the Executive Committee of the Family Law Section of the Florida Bar,
and to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of Florida.
and
and to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of Florida.
I further agree to fully acquaint myself
I further agree to fully acquaint myself
and uphold the standing policies of the Florida Bar,
and to uphold the standing policies of the Florida Bar,
the Florida Bar Family Law Section,
the Florida Bar Family Law Section,
and the bylaws of the Family Law Section.
and the bylaws of the Family Law Section.
I shall otherwise carry out to the best of my ability
I shall otherwise carry out to the best of my ability
all responsibilities pertaining to my elected office
all responsibilities pertaining to my elected office
and those otherwise properly assigned to me, so help me God.
and those otherwise properly assigned to me, so help me God.
Congratulations to all of you. And it is now with great pride and pleasure that I will swear in the chair of the Family Law Section, Heather Apicella, for the term 2021 through 2022. Heather, please unmute yourself and repeat after me. I state your name.
Heather Apicella,
Do solemnly swear to faithfully execute
do solemnly swear to faithfully execute
the position of chair of the Family Law Section of the Florida Bar
the position of chair for the Family Law Section of the Florida Bar,
and to uphold the Constitution of the United States
to uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Florida.
and the state of Florida.
I further agree to fully acquaint myself
I further agree to fully acquaint myself
and uphold the standing policies of the Florida Bar,
and uphold the standing policies of the Florida Bar,
the Florida Bar Family Law Section,
the Florida Bar Family Law Section,
and the bylaws of the Family Law Section.
and the bylaws of the Family Law Section.
I shall otherwise carry out to the best of my ability
I shall otherwise carry out to the best of my ability
all responsibilities pertaining to my elected office
all responsibilities pertaining to my elected office
and those otherwise properly assigned to me, so help me God.
and those otherwise properly assigned to me, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I believe it's now my turn to acknowledge the outgoing chair. I need a minute. Okay. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect it during the executive council meeting, and I didn't expect it now. Doug, when you sat virtually before us last year and you took your oath as chair, we were in the midst of a pandemic. There was total uncertainty about what we were facing personally, professionally, and as a nation and globally. It was the time of our lives that I'm sure none of us will forget. I know throughout your years of service of involvement with the Family Law Section in those moments, when you thought about becoming the chair, being sworn in when the world was facing so much uncertainty in so many areas was not what you envisioned. From the moment you stepped into your position as chair, you were forced to address questions and make decisions that no other chair had ever experienced. You were compelled to make critical decisions about the Family Law Section events that you worked tirelessly to plan and you looked forward to. Your live meetings quickly turned into conferences on Zoom platforms. You absolutely navigated this section through uncharted territory, and you did so without ever complaining. I know this year was never something that you could have ever imagined it to be, Yet you continually said you had an amazing experience as the chair of this section. You recently cited a wonderful quote from Dalai Lama, who said, "Sometimes not getting what you want is a stroke of luck." And I am so truly happy that you feel that way. Thank you for leading this section through one of the most, if not the most, difficult time in the section's history. A small token of our appreciation, I want to present you with a beautiful award that has been engraved with words of appreciation for everything that you have done. I also personally picked out, with the kind of help of some of your very close friends, something that should have been delivered or will be delivered to your office today. I truly thank you for everything that you have done. I know that chairing the section is a tremendous task, and I know that no one actually understands it until you put on the shoes and you walk those steps. Thank you for everything that you did this year, and I truly hope you're really able to enjoy this upcoming year as the immediate past chair.
Thank you very much, Heather. I think when I announced some of the past chairs, I may have omitted some, so I want to make sure that I didn't. And so that would be Abigail Beebe and Diane Kerrigan. And if I omitted anyone, I'm sorry. This year, I'm honored to pass the gavel on a virtual basis, albeit, to somebody I have known for many, many years. When I first met Heather, she was working for a legend in the South Florida legal community, Hugh Maloney. In fact, I had my first trial against Mr. Maloney, who was a true professional in every sense of the word. And he mentored Heather along with Peter and Jeff to becoming a great attorney. In fact, in 2006, I had to look this up, Heather, I had a case against you. And I remember going back and speaking to my friends, Karin, who, yes, the former chair of the section, Randy Bovin, Claudia Willis, and Catherine Birnbaum, about this young attorney. And I said she could not have been more prepared and more professional. It was at that time I knew that you would continue to grow and become the attorney you've become today. I've also become friends with you, and I had the pleasure of interacting with you and your daughters. It is my great joy to pass this gavel to you and know that the section will continue to thrive and do great things under your leadership. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I guess I'm up now. Is that a yes?
Yes, Jeff, it's up to you now.
Okay, great. Thank you. It is with immense pride that I introduce you to the 46th chair of the Family Law Section of the Florida Bar, Heather Lynn Apicella. Born in Parker, Colorado on May 11th, 1979, Heather is the daughter of Lynn C. and Dennis Traylor, the stepdaughter of Don C., the sister of Amber Barros, and the mother of two amazing, beautiful young girls, Juliana Lilly and Savannah Rose, who Uncle Jeff affectionately referred to as G and Peanut. Tenacity, resilience, perseverance, courage, self-belief, and perspective were values instilled into Heather at a very young and impressionable age. At 7, she moved from Colorado to Florida in a full leg cast from her foot all the way up to her hip. She was skiing with her dad and had fallen on a black diamond trail. Her boot did not release. She suffered a really bad leg fracture and remained laying in the snow waiting for help to arrive. But there were no ski patrols in sight, so she clung onto her father's back and he skied down the entire mountain with her. In Florida, rather than attend physical therapy, her doctor said that she could walk every day in the thick sand to build up her muscles. So she did it every day, and her leg healed. But would she ski again? Would her fear get the better of her? If you know Heather, then you already know the answer. She was back on the slopes confronting the Black Diamond Trail that had previously gotten the better of her. She grit her teeth and made it down unscathed. And she learned a very important life lesson that day. When you get knocked down, you do not stay down. You get back up and you fight. At the age of 10, she knew that she wanted to become a lawyer. She would tell anyone who would listen. In furtherance of that goal, she wanted to attend FSU and then apply to law school. She worked extremely hard and graduated with honors from Cape Coral High School. She struggled with standardized testing. Her parents rightfully encouraged her to apply to many different schools, the safe thing to do. Heather would have none of it. She only wanted to attend FSU, and she only applied to FSU. Bad news, she was rejected. Now what? Where most people would have given up on their dream and moved on, Heather insisted upon setting up a meeting with the Dean of Admissions. Her multiple requests were met with silence. What would she do? If you know Heather, then you already know what she did. She drove up to Tallahassee, marched into the dean's office, spoke to the staff, and requested a face-to-face meeting. Fortunately, she was told that the dean was too busy and could not meet with her. She left the office devastated, but a few hours later, she received a phone call and the meeting was set. This was her big chance. She urged the dean to believe in her and steadfastly maintain that she would succeed. The dean proposed the following: attend 1 year at Tallahassee Community College and maintain a certain GPA, and then you will be admitted to FSU for your second year. Deal, Heather excitingly exclaimed. She kept in regular contact with the dean and fiercely attacked her goal during the first semester at Tallahassee Community College. Heather exceeded all expectations. The dean was so impressed that she immediately admitted Heather into FSU for the second semester. They kept in touch throughout, and Heather graduated FSU with honors. The dean congratulated Heather and said that admitting her was the best decision she ever made at FSU. This experience taught Heather some additional life lessons. Do not let anything or anyone ever get in the way of your dreams. If at first you don't succeed, persevere and try even harder the next time, and never, ever quit. Heather was admitted to Nova Law School, where she made law review and graduated cum laude in 2006. She passed the Florida bar and was hired by an esteemed family law attorney and fellow in the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, U.T. Maloney. Heather received excellent training, and as she tells many young associates today, it was not easy. Mr. Maloney had high standards, and he did not sugarcoat things when the work product was subpar. He expected more from her, always. Praise came at times, but it was few and far between. She was trained the old-fashioned way, and when her confidence was rocked, she would call upon a few lessons from her parents. Obstacles only make us better and stronger, and when 100% is not enough, dig deep and give 110%. Heather progressed and was becoming well-known and respected in the legal community. Mr. Maloney was 80 years old, and his practice was suffering. It was time for Heather to advance her career and move on. Many firms, including ours, attempted to lure her away. If you know Heather, then you know what she decided. She stayed with Mr. Maloney until his passing at age 83. Honor, decency, and loyalty, the very essence of your next chair of the family law section. Heather joined Gladstone and Weissman after Mr. Maloney's passing in 2012. I've had the distinct honor and privilege of working alongside her nearly every day for the past 9 years and celebrating her numerous successes and accolades. She passed the board certification exam on her first attempt and became a partner of our firm on April 3rd, 2016. She's an extraordinary lawyer who possesses the highest degree of integrity, compassion, empathy, emotional intelligence, pragmatism, and substantive knowledge. She has dedicated herself tirelessly to the citizens of the state of Florida, having served as chair or officer of the following committees: the Children Issues Committee, the Support Issues Committee, the CLE Committee, the Finance Committee, the Long Range Planning Committee, the Marital and Family Law Review Course Committee, the Florida Bar Journal, the Family Law Commentator, and the Legislation Committee. She also served on Executive Council from 2009 until her appointment as Secretary of the Executive Committee. In her new role as Chair of the Family Law Section, Heather will bring an inclusive disposition to the table and focus on mending relationships which were compromised in years past over trivial positioning and politics. She will reach out to the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, extend her hand, and welcome a new day of collaboration for the betterment of the family law section and the citizens of our state. Heather recognizes that there is strength in partnerships and that no single group has a monopoly over good ideas. She will make sure that nothing but the best work product comes out of committees and that our legislative goals and agenda are pursued and protected. And she will create opportunity for others who aspire to rise in the section. To know Heather is to like Heather. She will foster relationships with all of you and other sections of the bar, but make no mistake about it, she will fight when there is a need to fight. Heather knows how to balance diplomacy with strength. Our status, respect, and reputation will only rise during her tenure. In closing, I just want to say something a bit personal. While this is a very happy day for Heather, her happiest moments are the ones that she spends with her two girls. Juliana and Savannah, your mommy loves both of you so, so much. She's incredibly proud of you. Never forget that you are the most important thing in her life. Heather, I am beyond fortunate to know you and have you in my life. I learn from you each and every day. You are a fantastic human being. I'm so proud of you, and I know that you will serve this office with dignity, grace, and excellence. Congratulations and best wishes for much continued success on this new journey. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present you the 46th chair of the Family Law Section of the Florida Bar, Heather Lynn Apicella.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate it. Okay, so the theme for my year is positivity and kindness. I have learned that simply looking at an issue or a situation which appears to be a serious obstacle with a positive outlook will change the ultimate conclusion and the outcome. I truly believe that holding myself accountable, having integrity and honesty within myself is the most valuable attribute that I can bring to each and every one of you. I want you all to know the sincere amount of respect that I have for you. To me, making this speech is truly a dream come true. It feels like an out-of-body experience. It's very, very overwhelming, as you could tell. When I was a young lawyer, my boss, as you've heard, Hugh Maloney, told me that in order to be the type of marital and family law lawyer that I set out to be, I must surround myself with only the very best. 3 months after I passed the bar exam, he brought me to the Marital and Family Law Review course. I was extremely intimidated. If I knew 5 people at that event, it was a lot. Mr. Maloney walked me up and introduced me to Tom Sasser. Tom looked at me and said, "You do not want to know me. You want to know that lady over there, Alicia Roy. I'm going to be old news." Tom walked me over to Alicia and introduced me to her. She was sitting at a table surrounded by people. And Alicia looked at me and said, "Call me," and handed me her business card. I attended the annual Family Law Section meetings in 2007 by myself. I wanted to crawl under a table and disappear, but I did not. I decided that I would attend some of the committees that by title would potentially be interesting to me. Alicia, during our phone call, told me to volunteer for anything and everything that I could, because working my way up through the section committees was the best way to meet people and to become involved. Thankfully, Abigail Beebe was at that meeting, and she and I volunteered to be on a subcommittee of the Children's Issues Committee. The simple act of volunteering for that particular committee started my path with the section. During the 2 days that I spent at the committee meetings and the executive council meeting, I witnessed some of the most incredible lawyers have spirited, intellectual, academic discussions about topics that were way above my head. But I decided at that moment that I needed to be sitting at that table with those lawyers, and whatever it took, I was going to do. I attended the awards and installation lunch, and I watched Tom Sasser pass the gavel to Allison Hughes. At that time, I remember watching Allison and thinking how truly amazing and overwhelmed she must feel. I also thought Tom was super, super eloquent. From that point forward in 2007 and at each installation lunch that I attended, and I have not missed one, I always thought about how the incoming and outgoing chair must feel. I can tell you again that the feeling is surreal. Me sitting here today would not have happened without the most important people in my life. To my incredible family, my mother, my father, and my stepfather. Each of you have watched me as I have set on my journey to achieve things that at times I truly felt were impossible. You have been my biggest cheerleaders. You have been through each and every one of my struggles with an open ear to listen to, constantly reminding me that whatever the task at hand was, it may take time, but I would accomplish it successfully with hard work and dedication. You are the reason that I hold my values, my ethics, and my morals in such high regard. You would not allow it any other way. You never allowed the word failure to come out of my mouth, and if I second guessed myself, you were there to pick me up, brush me off, and nicely remind me that to shoot for the moon, because even if I missed, I would land among the stars. To want my one and only sister. I am so very blessed that you are my sister. I don't know what I would do without you. You have literally stood by my side through it all. When you cannot be with me physically, you are here virtually with me. You are an inspiration and you push me every single day to be the best person that I can be. I am so truly lucky that you are my sister. To my beautiful and loving daughters, I love you both more than anything in this world. I know you do not entirely understand what your mommy is doing today or what I may be doing over the course of the next 12 months, but one day you will, and I hope that I make you proud. To my legal assistant, Danielle, she has been working tirelessly with me, sending out hundreds. I actually think we've met the 1,000 mark of letters to each and every single member of the family law section who submitted committee preference forms, and to the letters appointing various officers to the committees. She keeps me on track professionally with the section work that I have to do and personally, and it is a serious job. I am a lot to handle. I am so truly grateful for her. To my wonderful partner, Denise Schneider, you said it best, you're like my other sister. You have to listen to me vent. You are always so calm and you remind me that life is short and that I must enjoy the ride. So get ready because I'm gonna need a lot of my therapy sessions with you. To my amazing mentors and partners, Peter Gladstone and Jeffrey Weissman, you both have been by my side through the roughest of times. And I mean that to be plural, unfortunately. You have also been with me through some of the most amazing moments and times of my life. I cannot thank you enough for everything that you have done for me to support me, not only in the good times, but you were with me in the bad. Your support throughout my years and years of involvement with the family law section, which stemmed prior to me coming to work for you, and your encouragement to continually move up, you are both the reason that I am sitting here today. As I sit here before all of the family law section members on this Zoom call, it is most important for me to impart to each of you that as we go through this year together, we will do so with a great amount of respect and decorum for one another. Every person's point of view matters. We may not always agree with one another, but the best part is that we will learn from each other. Two of my mentors have taught me that you cannot learn while you're talking, and listen, understand, and then be understood. We will accomplish amazing things on behalf of Florida's families together. Everything we do comes with a lot of work, and this section is known for undertaking some of the most impossible tasks and completing them very well. I have no doubt that this year we will face our own stresses, but the manner in which we approach the issue will form our outcome. As the chair of this section, it is important to me that we keep our vision focused on the positive aspects of each and every single task that we undertake. My message to all of the young lawyers and those of you who are newer to the family law section, the experience that I have gained through this section is something that has made me a better lawyer, leader, and all-around person. I have gained friendships that will last a lifetime. I have laughed harder than I have ever thought I could ever laugh with people that I admire, respect, and look up to. I truly encourage you to continue your journey with the family law section because what you give, it will give back to you. For those of you who have been with the family law section, dedicating your time, working on committees, subcommittees, and possibly in officer positions, after everything that we have been through with this pandemic, life experiences, some wonderful, some not so wonderful, this year we are going to have fun. This section is what it is because of you. Your hard work, your time that you selfishly choose to volunteer. This year, we are all going to come together. We are going to work hard and we are going to have a great time doing it. To the executive council members, you are the backbone of this section. We have a year ahead of us that will be filled with great experiences. Your work, the hours that each of you put forth, the emergency phone calls that I know we are going to have where you have to juggle your personal and work life to appear on a Zoom screen to address an unscheduled issue that will inevitably come at the worst time for each of you. But you will make it happen. Your attendance at the executive council meetings, which thankfully will be in person starting in August, going over our agendas that at times appear to be never ending and possibly consumed by or fallen into the great abyss, are all things that I could never be more grateful to each of you for. To the executive committee, I am so thrilled and so honored to work with each and every one of you. The true excitement that I have within me to be on this committee of amazing officers is inexplainable. I am so grateful for each of you for all that you do. I will have you on speed dial, so just get ready. To the trustees, I hope that when I'm standing before you next year, exiting this platform, that I have made you proud. I will end with this. I know more than anything that we all collectively will have a truly phenomenal year, which I promise will be captivated by positivity and kindness. Thank you so much.